Hey guys, Rob Murphy from Holistic Healing Choices here. Now today I want to do something a little bit different, just a little bit more of a heart-to-heart sort of conversation about the world and its current state and what we're doing, we as a society, as a human race, can do to help this shift. So as many of you are aware of what's happening right at the moment, all over the world, I wanted to take the time to talk to you about your specific input, message, whatever you can do to actually enact a bit of change. So, in many cases, it's hard. It's probably the hardest it's ever been, or ever will be in our lifetime. Hopefully, fingers crossed on that one. So, what are you doing about it? How are you being authentically you in this crisis? Now, I was on a web call sort of thing with one of my mentors the other day, the lovely Joanne Airton, and one thing that got my memory going, or got my mind going, should I say, is about your favourite movie. So just stop for a second and think about what your favourite movie is. What movie do you use to get inspired, to get ideas from, or watch whenever? This is the number one movie that you can watch wherever. Now, in that movie, I'm going to hazard a guess that the main character or characters have some sort of hardship that they have to overcome. Now, I mean, if you look at the genres of horror, action, comedy, all of these are sort of the same. Now, the way they do that or go about that will be completely different from movie to movie or person to person in that situation. So, as you think about that favourite movie, what are the main character or characters doing? What do they have to overcome? Because like this situation is no different. We have to overcome this situation. And we can do that, by staying inside. Or we can actively go out, keep living our lives to the best that we can by exercising, eating right, doing whatever. Or, really, if you want, you could be a drunk arsehole for however long this whole thing takes. Now, for me, personally, that came back to the Avengers and Captain America. So for me, I don't know why, but I've never been a big fan of his in the comic books. But in the movies, I like the way he's portrayed and that he never lets his values bend for anyone. He is always doing the right thing regardless of the adversary he's facing or the adverse conditions that he's facing. Even when facing such a far greater foe in Thanos, he never let his will bend at all. And I mean, it got him punched in the face and then everybody died anyway. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it already, your own fault in this case. But I mean, just think, if he had played dirty, if he had done something else, in the final scene of the next movie, we wouldn't have got that scene where he was able to have the might of the gods on his side. Trying to keep the spoiler alerts in. And I mean, let me tell you, on that scene, 13, 14-year-old me that's trapped inside, he was absolutely going bananas. That was a beautiful scene. But anyway, getting back to the point. So that's one of my favourite film characters, and what that means to me, keeping your values in check, not bending your will, even in the face of absolute adversity. But think about yours. What are yours? Now, and how does that relate to your authentic self in this way as well? And how can you learn from this situation or take something out of it and apply it to the current situation that we're all currently facing? All of this social isolation, all of this financial loss, and there is a potential for financial gain as well. What the hell can you do? I mean, I love supporting local stuff. That's my jam at the moment. Eating at local takeaways and coffee shops and stuff where I can, when I can, and doing what I can to help other people. Because I still have my goals and stuff that I want to achieve this year, your $100,000 and 100,000 people helped. So those things are going to continue regardless of this situation in any way I can, without breaking any laws or anything like that. Because, like my hero, Captain America, he wouldn't do that. So I still want to be able to do that in a respectful way that helps people and gives something back to people. Now, another thing I want to talk about too was being authentic. Being your authentic self. Given that we do have a little bit of more free time, most of us anyway, use this time to, I talked about upskilling yourself, but this time upgrading your life, upgrading you as a person. What can you do in this time? Now I know I've always said if I had more free time I would exercise more. You know, I can't because I have to go to work. So I have just started running a lot more, going for longer runs than I normally would be able to do. Now I know all the gyms and stuff are closed. Luckily I've got some equipment here, but I mean, what's stopping me from doing 100 push-ups a day or 100 sit-ups a day, 100 squats a day, all those sort of things? Absolutely nothing. Now, over the next course of the days, I want you to think about what you can do to better yourself. It could be more exercise. It could be showing more gratitude or helping someone, assisting someone in some other way. It could be taking time to stop and meditate. Spend some time with your emotions. Really get in there, feel, work through some stuff that you've probably been pushing out to the side because you have no time. So that when the world does reset and we get back to the way things used to be, you come out of this a better, more rounded, more grounded you. So that might mean meditation for you. That might mean journaling. That might mean actually just sitting there and thinking, wow, some of this stuff is pretty fucked up. But now's the perfect time to just sit by myself and unpack some of this. And that might mean that you cry. That might mean that you laugh. That might mean that you just are in a pretty shitty mood for a couple of days. But now, if you've got the time to do it, why wouldn't you want to do that? So out of this video, I want you to promise yourself you will do at least 5% better each and every day. Each and every day from here on out. Now, this too, as the pandemic ends and we go back to our normal way of life, as I said before, I want you to still do that as well. So, if you're addicted to anything, stop. At least 5% of that. So that might mean 1 less cigarette a day, 2 less cigarettes a day, whatever the hell you smoke. That might mean putting down some crappy food each and every day. That might mean exercising for 5 minutes. That might mean getting off the computer, getting off YouTube, or whatever your vice is there. Hopefully nothing too illicit on the internet. And getting off that, at least like take some, I don't know, let's say if you're on there for 2 hours, take 15 minutes off that. Use a bit of an anchor. I want you to hear my voice, or anybody's voice in this case, and just say, be 5% better. Next time you're in that vice, that addiction, that thing, be 5% better. Choose something better. Choose something better for you, choose something better for other people. Start showing up as a better version of yourself. Now, that's not to say that you're broken, but, I mean, myself included, I can improve. You know, over the past week, it has been pretty hard being jobless, so grab an empty one here. Beer has been a bit of a go-to for me, because, hell, I haven't got anywhere to be. It's nice and cool in the fridge, and it's there. It hasn't been doing me any favours though. I put on a bit of weight, which I've got to now take off again, and really just affected my health. So why am I doing that? So to be better, cut that away. So for me, that would be going back to before this, where I would only use beer for special occasions, or alcohol in general for special occasions, or 1 or 2 to relax, rather than, you know, getting that slightly tipsy feeling before 5 p.m. some days. And it might mean, you know, I don't drink until after a certain time, or something like that. Now that's just been my personal experience during this whole thing, having gone from working till pretty much nothing, to doing more video work and doing stuff like that where, you know, I can sneak a beer in here or there. Really, what end gain do I get from that? Do I get to be a more disciplined, well-rounded person from continually drinking beer each and every day? No. So, what's the point? Why would I do that? Why not work harder on these videos? Why not work harder on my fitness? Why not work harder on doing something or providing something to someone who could benefit from it during this whole crisis? So to summarise again, guys, think of that favourite movie character. I mean, it might even be a video game character or something. Someone who you look up to or respect. Now, I don't go into the whole idol worship sort of thing. So I don't particularly idolise Captain America for anything, but that's a quality that I like about him. So choose some qualities that you like about those characters and what they do and how they do it. As well as think about what you can do to provide something for someone else in this time. How can you work the system? Could you provide a free link for something? Could you provide entertainment for someone in some form or fashion? Don't go too carried away with that one. Or what can you do to upgrade your life? What emotional traumas or other crap can you use this time to get over, to finally let go of? And then as well, what can you do to be of service? What can you do to be something else? To be that 5% better each and every day? But anyway, guys, that's it for this one. I'm Rob Murphy, and I'll see you in the next video.